What's going on? It's Looking to here. Welcome back to another video. Today, this is going to be the first episode of my new kind of beginner's YouTube guide. Even if you're not a beginner and you do have a bit of a following and you're not just starting off, a lot of this information can be helpful for you too. But yeah, I'm just going to get right into this today. We're going to be talking about how to choose a camera, what camera should you use, and then I'll have other videos in this series of like what laptop should you edit on, what mics, what other gear you use. But today we're gonna just be talking about cameras. So we're gonna open up our web browser here, and I'm gonna show you a few ones I recommend. However, I do have a bias towards Canon, but it's just a personal opinion of mine. Obviously, you can choose whichever camera brand you prefer. I'm just going to be showing you some simple specs. So the first one is a Canon ELPH 360. I don't know if they still have this or not. They do. Okay. So this camera, I actually have this exact same camera. It works amazing. I've filmed so many videos on this. It's great for going on the go. It has a 12 times optical zoom. It's a point and shoot, so it doesn't have like the easiest accessible manual settings. There's no flip screen, however. That might be a big issue for people trying to get into vlogs, but it's a good pick up and go picture camera. It takes a phenomenal pictures. It just takes amazing videos as well. It can do 1920 by 1080 at 30 frames. It doesn't do 60, sadly. I just don't know why it doesn't, but it's not that big of a deal when it comes to this. If this was your first camera per se, running at, that's a pretty good price. You might even be able to get it cheaper somewhere else, like used. Maybe check Best Buy out. I will leave a link for all these Amazons in the description so you guys can go check them out. It's simple, it's easy to use. The mic quality, I recommend you the mic is in a good spot. It's on the front of the camera, not on the top, compared to other cameras where the mic's on the top. Having it on the front, you're less likely to put your finger over that mic and cover it up, which is really helpful when you're out vlogging, you're out filming something. It's really good. The zoom, however, it's limited on the zoom, and that's the only downside I could say for vlogging. If you're trying to travel and you want to get really far shots, this might not be the camera for you, but at the same time, it's good to have this camera and maybe a bigger camera with a bigger zoom as well, if you're in the budget and you can afford two cameras, because you can just pick this one up, put in your pocket, and if you're going out for the day and you're going to be doing stuff like, I don't know, venturing on a hike, and you don't always want to hold that big camera, you can take something small like this. So the second camera, with that being said, the second camera I suggest, and these are all just Canon products. Where is it? Right here. Okay, so this one, it's the Canon SX60. I actually have this exact same camera as well. All the cameras I'm showing you in today's video I do have and I do personally use, so they are good. There's actually one camera I'm going to show you that's not Canon, which is a GoPro, but GoPro is kind of its own thing. That's why I'm not really going to compare it or anything, but it has the flip out screen, which is amazing for videos. The zoom, 65 times. So it's kind of a way I like to think of this camera is if the DSLR and that small point and shoot I showed you earlier had a child, this would be their child. It would be something small, something compact, but it works amazing. It can do 1080p at 60 frames, so you're getting a little bit higher budget, but it's gonna rank you a little bit higher. Some of the prices you see, They're pretty pricey, but you can try getting this Best Buy, Lund Drugs, wherever you think you would like to pick up a camera. The zoom is really good. I'm actually going to pop up a picture I've taken with this camera, boom, on the screen, so you can go check it out. And that's just a simple little picture I've taken that I like. Has a good zoom on it. Alright, so the next camera I'm going to show you is our last or not our last camera. We still have the GoPro to show you, but this is the Canon T3i. This is a DSLR. This comes with the kit lens, which is the 18 to 55 millimeter, which is okay. I mean, if you're just starting off taking photos or doing videos, the kit lens for vlogging is good because it's not going to be too up close in your face, but it's going to also be at the same time, it's going to be give you that good range of zoom. I barely use this lens actually anymore unless I'm gonna vlog, but I don't vlog with this camera because I'm not a big fan of, you know, all this manual focusing. It does have autofocus built into some of the lenses, however, but which works pretty good. But the frame rate, it does 1920 at 30. It can do 24 frames, which is good for filmmaking. If you're trying to make a cinematic film, I recommend using a DSLR for filming and more not on the go, because just of how long it takes to maybe set up and get perfect and get things in focus, it just would take a long time if you're just trying to pick it up and vlog. But I do recommend the T3i. It will cost you a little bit more, but it's more of tripod material. The stabilization inside the camera isn't the greatest. I can't stress that enough. If you're trying to get into vlogging, don't pick up the T3i because of the image stabilization isn't the greatest. You got to have a gimbal or be ridiculously good at holding that still for it to be worth your while. And there's just a lot of setup. That's why I recommend it mostly for filmmaking. Or also if you're doing sit-down videos, DSLRs can work okay because you can have, you know, it set up on how you like it, the settings and everything for that location. The last camera I'm going to show you in today's episode is GoPro. Any GoPro will do. I prefer the GoPro Hero 4, well, just because it's the one I have. But any GoPro really will do you. It doesn't matter which one you go out and buy. If you want to use one without a case and want it to be waterproof without a case, I suggest you get like the Hero 5 or something like that. If you want something cheap and affordable that's not a GoPro, this one, actually my dad has this AKX, I can't pronounce that, but like he has this camera, and I've actually, on my old channel, my Logan D channel, I have a comparison of the two. I'll leave a link for it in the description so you can check that out if you're interested in that. But it basically does everything GoPro does. It does need the case, however, for like to be waterproof, but a lot of action cameras these days do. I guess the GoPro is just stepping one step advanced from the other. So back to the GoPro. The one I use is the Hero 4 Silver. It can do a lot. The specs on this is just amazing. It's great for slow-mo. However, you are getting a wider, like, fisheye lens, but you can control that with how wide you're setting your lens, which is really cool about the GoPro. It can do, 60, 120. It can do up to 120 frames, which is amazing. It can do like 1080p. I'm pretty sure this can do 4K, but it's not the greatest on 4K, so I wouldn't recommend it. If you want to do 4K, you're gonna have to get the Hero 5 or up, but it's only gonna be a little bit more. I don't know why the prices are like this. This does not make sense to me. I'll probably look at it for like at Best Buy or something, but that's just my opinion. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's episode. Hopefully you did like it. If you did, please leave that blue thumbs up, subscribe down below for more content, and turn on bell notifications so you don't miss an upload from me. And I will see you guys next Friday with a new episode of Beginner's Guide. Every Friday, I'll be getting an episode out to you. See you guys next week.